Hey up, Chatter Gang.
Welcome to Chatter Guys Chat.
This week we're going to be talking about what we've been up to this week because he's Colin.
He's Tim.
And together we are the Chatter Guys.
Come on, let's get chatting. This week then, Tim.
Yes, first thing I'd like to talk about, being very British, is the weather. I always say if you live in the UK, you can't be dependent upon the weather. You can't let it dictate whether you're going to do things or not. Otherwise, you just stay in the house all the time because it's just not reliable. Forecast changes in seconds. But just recently, the weather's been particularly weird. Yes, up until today, we've had quite nice weather. It's been nice and sunny. There's been a chilly wind, hasn't there? For about a week, maybe 10 days, something like that. And then we're recording this on a bank holiday weekend, and the heavens are just open and it's chucking it down. And I was wondering, we're interested in law of attraction and manifesting, whether the great British public always expect it to be bad weather on a bank holiday, and that's what makes it rain. What do you think?
No, that's not the reason for it at all, Tim, and I'll tell you what the
Go
reason
on.
is. It's the El Nino effect. So we've now got the weather pattern, what's controlled by the climate in America, and this wind is affecting the currents in the sea. And what we're getting is we're getting a trap in the cold weather coming down, and that's why you feel, even though it's been extremely sunny this last couple of weeks, it's been really strong, that sun, you also can feel the chill because it's the El Nino effect.
Well, that only explains it for this year, Colin. What about every other bank holiday that's ever been?
No, it's stronger this year. The El Nino effect is stronger this year than what it were. Well, it's growing stronger, and also it's moving into El Nino, which is going to be, it's predicting it's going to be a pretty rough winter as well.
Right.
Anyway, that's the weather.
Oh, no, I'm not letting this one go. That only explains it for this year. It doesn't explain every other bank holiday. It just chucks it down. I've known it snow at Easter before now. I think it's a group manifestation.
There you go.
And you're not going to convince me otherwise.
There you go. But that's the glorious weather, and like you said, you can't control what you do by the weather. Just go and do it.
Absolutely. However, today we had planned to do a little bit of gardening. Now, we don't get much time to do gardening, but we went to the garden centre yesterday, didn't we, Colin? We've had a new fence fitted at the bottom of our garden, and so the bed under the fence needs some plants to go in it. So we took the afternoon and went to the garden centre.
We're getting in shape for potentially selling the house next spring, so we need to get the garden sorted, don't we? That's our next step.
We want to get some plants established. So we went to a massive garden centre. It's the one that's closest to us. It's absolutely huge, isn't it?
Any local people will know where this is. It's a huge garden centre. The car park's 3-4 times bigger than the actual garden centre, and they do need that car park.
I was amazed at the size of the car park. It's much bigger than the last time. I've not been there for a while. I think it was a year last Christmas we went. But it was busy. They needed the car parks. We went in the very furthest away from the entrance, didn't we? And there were spaces there, but not that many.
The thing is, you were getting chaotic. You can't really walk around comfortable because you're just walking. Instead of walking and looking at things, you're just walking to get away from people.
Absolutely packed.
I didn't find it very comfortable, to be honest.
As I said, it was a bank holiday weekend, and traditionally people like to go to garden centres and get the gardening done when they've got a free Monday. However, we were not impressed with the prices, were we?
No, they were very expensive.
We were just like, how many times did we say, how much? They really, but people were buying it, weren't they? There was that family in front of us when we were at the checkout. We did buy some plant pots, which turned out to be twice as much as they should have been. But when we were queuing for the checkout, that family got a whole garden's worth of plants, hadn't they? Really exotic
plants. If I were to guess how much they would spend, I would reckon that we're going to be close to nearing 600 quid for the plants that they've got. I've got some huge plants in their trolley.
I was going to say it's going to be more than 500, so I think you're right there.
But then we went to another garden centre that we knew, which this one is a much more for locals to go to.
Well, this was a nursery that we went to where they actually grow the plants. And I'm not saying they don't grow the plants on the garden centre that we went to, but it's more of a nursery. They only have plants and koi carp. There wasn't anything else they had, was there?
No, but before we start talking about the plants, let's talk about them koi carp. I've never seen koi carp as big in my
Oh
life.
my goodness. We should have filmed them for the channel. They were very impressive. They had them all different ages, didn't they? Some were, what would you say, 9-10 inches long, and then others were just, you could not have lifted them up, I don't think. They were just massive.
I think
some
they've
of
been
them.
in there forever, to be honest. Some
They
of them.
were beautiful fish. You've got a story about koi carp, haven't you?
Well, if I have, you'll have to remind me.
Well, do you remember, was it somewhere that you lived and you had a koi carp pond and all the koi carp died?
Well, because we used to get, we had a big tree at the bottom of our garden, and they used the trees. The trees brought the birds in, and we had some birds that used to help themselves to the koi carp. So we just gave up. We'd spent loads of money on getting these koi carps, and we just gave up basically, to be honest. And then, lo and behold, they'd all gone. And then after a year or so, my dad decided he'd make use of the koi pond area where the koi pond were, and decided to take it out. And lo and behold, there were one bloody living. After about a year of no food, I don't know how it survived. It was a ghost carp, so we had to find a new home for it.
Anyway, back to the original story. This nursery that we went to, the plants were at least half to a third of the price that they were in the garden centre, weren't they?
So we ended up getting a boot full of plants.
We spent £100 on plants ourselves, but we got a lot, didn't we?
We did.
They're all out on the back patio at the moment. We plan to plant them, or at least arrange them in the garden where we want them to go today, but it's chucking it down. So we can't do that.
Talking about water,
Oh, go on.
we had another incident with your washing machine, didn't we?
Colin, it's our washing machine. The fact that you don't know how to turn it on doesn't make it any less yours.
Sure.
Yes, last weekend we had a massive flood. The water pipe that feeds the washing machine had somehow become detached, and it was just like a river. The whole fortunately we keep the washing machine in the conservatory, and it's a laminate floor there, so it's damaged the floor, but it was just ankle deep in water. So I turned the valve off and I called a man on Monday. He was really good, actually. I got the first quote that I got on Monday. It was like, oh, it's a £70 call out and I'll come tomorrow. So I said, well, I'll just leave it. I'll see if I can get someone to come today. And I did. I called another couple of places, and the one that I picked, he was just going to charge £40, which I thought, oh, save £30 already. Came the same day, came when he said he was going to come, which I thought was very impressed. And it didn't charge me any more for labour. He just charged me for the part. He replaced the pipe that had come loose and was still leaking. So that was very good, and it's been fine all week until last night. And this morning I got up. It's nowhere near as bad as it was before, but there was a big puddle of water. So I'm gonna have to ring Ebenezer again and get him to come back.
Hopefully, if it were as good as coming out the first time, he'll be just as quick to come out the second time. He'll get it sorted, I'm sure he will.
Well, I was very confident with him because neither of us do DIY, do we? We're not experiencing it. We don't really like doing it. So
Can't be bothered, to be honest.
Do you know, my thinking is that in the long run, it's cheaper just to get a proper man in to come and do it, because I know if I did it, I don't really know what I'm doing. I've no interest in it.
You could watch YouTube, and we are men.
I don't think Ed DeGeneres ought to do with it, really. But I'd know what I would do. I'd start off fine, and then the first obstacle, I'd just lose interest in it, and I wouldn't do a proper job. So I just think it's just easy just to get a professional in to do it.
However, other than that, too.
But I was just going to say about professionals, the thing is, because you said Colin was at work when Ebenezer came to mend the washing machine, and he said, well, did you think it was all right? I said, well, do you know what, Colin? He turned up. And to me, that is a big tick, because so many people just let you down. Or they'll say they're going to come on Tuesday and they might come Thursday afternoon.
Tradesmen are not like what they used to be, and I tell you the main problem with it is there's not enough tradesmen, and the tradesmen that are working now, they're just overwhelmed with work, and
yes,
they've got priorities, and I don't think they're good at timekeeping because they're tradesmen.
I think you're very on the button there, yes.
Other than that, To be honest, that's most of our week covered. We've not been out. We did a bit
No.
of shopping yesterday after we'd gone to the garden centre, which were a rarity for me because I'm not a food shopper.
Oh, well, it was just on the way back, wasn't it, from the garden centre, and Colin came with
Quite
me.
enjoyed it. I went to Morrison's. First time I've been in Morrison's in what must be 6 months. It's no different Morrison's to what it always is. Other than that, we've had a pretty much quiet week. We've been able to do some editing.
We've got a big backlog with editing from when we were in Benidorm, so we want to crack on with that, get as much done while we've not got any activities planned.
However, Tim's not with me on this one. I've seen a new car that I wouldn't mind getting when I'm swapping cars, when I'm hopefully doing taxiing. It comes with a roof rack, and I said, well, we'll be able to buy one of them roof tents, what me and Money have got. And we'll be able to have some new adventures in electric car.
Yeah, just let me explain to people who've not seen it. There's a channel called Me and Monami that we're YouTube friends with, and they've got a tent that goes on the top of the car, and you erect it on top of the car, and there's a ladder comes down the side.
There's a ladder that comes down and it folds in half, and it's wonderful.
Basically, you sleep on top of your car.
Proper tent, fiberglass floor. Tim's not with us at all.
No.
But anyway, moving on.
Well, it's the UK weather. It's not a camping country. It's just not. If we lived in Spain.
Well, I said we could go on an adventure to Spain. Let's see how many charges it'd take us to get to Spain versus buying a plane ticket.
I'm not over it.
So we'll just be going back to doing as normal videos.
Well, that's staying in nice hotels.
Tim's got no adventure.
Well, I'll do an adventure when you do the pigeon challenge in Benidorm.
What? So if I do the pigeon challenge, you'll allow me to get a...
No, I'm not. No, that's no. I'm putting my foot down with a firm hand over that tent.
We did have some exciting news to share with you, Chat again. We've booked as next trip to Benidorm.
We are going to Benidorm for Pride.
And it's not just us that's going.
It's not. We've got Cass and Liv, Bear Donna from the channel out.
And we've also got a couple of friends who we've met in Benidorm before.
Yes, Tweety 1 and Tweety 2.
They're coming with us again. They're going to join us. One of Bear Donna's friends is going who we've not met before. So I think there's 7 of us in the group chat. So if anybody this is an idea that I've got spinning up in my head. Is to organise a Chatty Guys meetup in Benidorm. And what we'll do is we'll arrange to meet at a certain pub. I don't know which pub I've got in my mind yet. It's going to be during day. But then I'm going to set up a group for us all, and I'm going to set up a voting system. I've seen it on another couple of videos where I've got the idea from. We'll have a vote system on which bar to go to next, and everybody will vote, and the bar what's got the majority of the votes is the bar we'll go to.
What could possibly go wrong?
That'll be exciting, won't it?
What could go wrong?
I might even have a vote about what drink we're drinking next. How about that?
Well, we'll see whether that comes up. If it comes off, that will certainly be an interesting video to make.
Yes.
Although we did enjoy our day drinking when we were in Benidorm last time, didn't we? We had a good time.
We did. We had a really good time.
Some of the Chatter gang came with us.
I want to check the group up to Elsisney, if they'll allow me to. I think that'll be an interesting day. Going to the flea market and showing them all the flea market.
This is all new to me, Chatter gang. This is just springing it on me.
Obviously, we're going to have... I'm not sure whether the gang will be on the Betty Bulls bus. I think that might be just us two, if I'm being honest.
They do tend to sell out the tickets for Betty Boo's pretty soon, don't they?
I'm not sure whether the gang will want to go on the Betty Bulls bus. It does take up a lot of your afternoon, to be honest.
It does. But I thoroughly enjoy it. And saying that, I don't stay on the bus for very long. I like to walk out on the street and show off to people. That's another thing.
Oh, just to let before we move on from Benidorm Pride.
I've not moved on.
We've booked. We'll be there till the Tuesday, so we'll have the full Pride experience. We'll end up going on the Tea Girl night, although that were a disaster last time. Disaster for us because of how much alcohol was consumed.
Colin was so poorly the day
and
after.
The state that we got into. And if there's one lesson that I'm going to learn from the Tea Girl night is not drink as much as what I drank last year.
He won't learn that lesson. He'll go with that intention, but it won't last. I'll tell you that now. So what I was going to say is I've forgotten.
Benidorm. You said you'd not moved on from Benidorm.
No, I was going to say something about Pride, but I've forgotten what it is.
Right. So that's all booked. Unfortunately, we're flying with Ryanair again. After the last episode, you'll see on our last flight with Ryanair, we said we would never fly with Ryanair again because they charged me for my carry-on case, and it was €75 they charged me. or £75, I can't remember which. It were only just over. I couldn't believe it. It were just over. But it were my mistake. Problem is, I'm sure to God I've flown with Ryanair before on that carry case and it's never been a problem. This time it was. So I'm going to make sure before we fly that all the tape measures is measured, all the suitcases are measured, and we're not going to be facing any more fines.
Shouldn't be a problem because we are checking the baggage in this time, whereas before when we had that problem we would just had carry-on
Yes,
baggage,
there
didn't
you
we?
get you, because we used to having 22 kilos with Jet2. And it's not 22 kilos with Ryanair, I think it's 20, so you've got to have your wits about you.
You certainly do. I'm disappointed that we have to fly with Ryanair, but the price difference was just
I think it were
unavoidable.
£150 difference to go with Jet2. There's no ways around it. It is our favourite airline, but when the difference is that much.
Yeah, and the flights were a lot better as well, weren't they?
A lot better flights. So I think we depart at 9 o'clock and we've got a lot better flights.
And in deference to Ryanair, the only problem we had was with the suitcase, and they didn't handle it well, and they were very pedantic over applying the rules. But the flight was fine, wasn't it? The staff were lovely on the plane I'm talking about. It was fine.
The only difference between Ryanair and Jet2, I'm going to call them trolley dollies, and you shouldn't call them trolley dollies. The air hostesses do come round quite a lot more on Ryanair than what they do Jet2, and they're trying to flog your stuff.
They do, yeah, it's a much more hard sell, and from memory, I think Ryanair's a lot more expensive than Jet2.
A lot more expensive.
All sales on flights are expensive.
No, but
compared to the shops.
For the drinks and the snacks, they were a lot more expensive on Jet2 than for it. They were a lot more expensive on Ryanair than what they were on Jet2.
So I think we'll be taking that road on nuts and crisps. Oh no, you're not allowed nuts, are you?
Might take a packed lunch.
I don't think you're allowed nuts on a plane.
No. So that's Pride.
That's I remember what I was going to talk about. We're debating, last year when we went, we let ourselves down with the outfits that we chose. We were told that the theme for Benidorm Pride last year was 70s, so we went as two disco dudes, didn't we? We had permed hair, wigs obviously, and disco gear, and
we were the only ones in theme.
We were the only one that stuck to a theme, so...
I'm not taking no. I think it's an anniversary of 20 years or something.
Oh, maybe.
But regardless of what theme they decide to pick for this year's Pride, I am not getting involved in any.
No, we're just going to suit ourselves. Yeah. But maybe you can give us some suggestions onto what you think.
If you have got any suggestions on our Pride outfits, because last year's were disappointing, I think.
Our outfits were, yes. There's some incredible outfits there. The thing is that we have to bear in mind is you've got to pack it, so it can't be something that's too big that won't fit in a suitcase, along with all your other clothes.
Maybe we could watch someone's video of the festival last year.
Yes.
For the Benidorm Festival.
Could do.
And just pick one of the best outfits from that and just copy.
Good idea.
What's coming up soon, Tim? Oh, before we move on to the next, what we wanted to talk about, we've got the local elections coming up on Thursday. We always tend to keep away from politics on this channel because
we don't know what we're talking about.
It's too controversial.
It is.
What I wanted to notice, I don't know if it's the same where you live, the amount of roadworks that's going off at the minute. Not roadworks, road surfacing. It's almost like we've got decent roads in Leeds. How come they always do the road surfaces a week before elections?
I know.
What a coincidence.
After months, if not years, of weaving in between potholes, they're suddenly all getting repaired.
You've now got a period of a couple of weeks where you think, oh, they've not done a bad job. And you've forgot for the last 10 months you've been avoiding potholes left, right and centre.
Yes.
What's coming up, Tim?
It is Eurovision.
Can I ask, before we go talk about that?
Can, Colin.
Alison Gia,
yes.
One of your favourite songs. Can we swear on podcasts? I'm not sure.
I'd say effing.
What's the song called again?
I Just Want to Effing Dance.
That's not Eurovision, is it?
No, it's from a musical.
Is Alison Gia a Eurovision artist?
She's not, no.
Well, I'll tell you why. She appeared last night, sent me a video.
Oh, she was at Flying Handbag, wasn't she?
She was at Flying Handbag. And the song that she come out with to sing was Olivia Newton-John. Xanadu.
Right.
She's a lovely singer. She just reminded me
She
of
is.
what a Eurovision singer would be. She was very talented, that song.
Is that Xanadu's not Eurovision either?
No, I know it's not, but it just reminded me of a Eurovision style as she was singing it. She was absolutely brilliant.
She's a fantastic entertainer.
Have you seen her before?
Yeah, I was with you when we went to see her.
Where did we see her?
We went to saw her at the Flying Handbag.
Alice and Gia.
We were right at the front of the stage.
Oh, well, I forgot.
Maybe you'd had a couple of sherries.
I forgot that.
Yep. I thought it was funny when you said, "Oh, I wish we'd have gone over to see her because we've already seen her." I would not go again, but
that's the most exciting thing that I'm looking forward to about Blackpool is we're going to have a really good scene and we're going to be able to pick nights when we want to go out and we'll be able to look and find out that's the thing that we're going to do. When we move to Blackpool. This will be another exclusive for you.
Oh.
So if you watch I'm sure you watch Benidorm Enthusiast.
Yes, a lot of our subscribers. I think that's the number one channel that our other subscribers will also watch. Is Benidorm Enthusiast. Benidorm Stuff the channel's called, isn't it?
Well, every month, one of our favourite videos that she does is she tells you what's going to happen.
It's really good. Yeah.
Each month she'll tell you activities,
what's
going off,
what the weather's going to be like.
Yeah, any festivals that's going off, tickets that's for sale that she can sort out. And we're going to do one for Blackpool. It's going to be brilliant.
There's always stuff going on. For example, this weekend it's Young Farmers, isn't it?
Young Farmers. We watch Blackpool Lads. We watch Walk on the Wild Side. Walk on the Wild Side has done a Young Farmers video, but it was during day and it not got started because he were going away, so he didn't think he were going to be able to do a night one. But the Blackpool Lads have done 2 night ones. They did one on Friday night, one on Saturday night. And he just basically walks around and films up and down. And Tim says, "Oh, we'll be doing that one. We'll be moving." I said, "We won't, because we'll be in pubs with Young Farmers."
We absolutely will.
We'll give you the site of what it's really like in bars, because we'll be joining them. We might not have a T-shirt, because obviously we're not farmers.
And we're not young.
Actually, a few at bars, I don't think you can get in unless you're a farmer. You've got like wristbands to get in.
Oh, that's right. Yes, they do.
So we might have to rethink that one.
Well, we'll give it a go. Anyway,
back to Eurovision.
What I wanted to say about Eurovision is that several countries, including Spain, who is one of the big backers of Eurovision, have refused to take part this year because Israel has been allowed to compete. And it does seem that there is a kind of double standard, because when Russia went to war with Ukraine, Russia wasn't allowed to join, and yet Israel is being allowed. And this is my personal point of view, and I know a lot of ex-Eurovision artists have said this, is that I wish the BBC hadn't taken part and they'd stood in solidarity with some of the other countries and not to take part. They say Eurovision, the EBC who run Eurovision, say that music isn't political, but everything's political. And I just wanted to say that. Having said that, we're probably going to be watching it, aren't we?
We will watch it. How far is it away now?
Week after next.
See, that's, to me, Eurovision is another sign when summer's here.
Yes, it is.
Because how far are we away from summer now? We've got summer starts in June, does it officially?
1st of June. Well, either the 1st or 21st of June, depending on which way you look at it.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So we've got. I always look at seasons in months. So we've got 1 month of spring left. And I thought we were getting little signs of summer coming last week, but
we were
back in autumn again now. Certainly not spring.
So that's our week or this week chat again.
You can always contact us via our website at www.thechatterguys.co.uk. You can send us a message on our email, contact@thechatterguys.co.uk. We'd love to hear from you, and we really hope you've enjoyed this podcast.
Indeed. Thank you for listening.
See you soon. Bye.
Together we are